Some senators are still pushing for the pilot testing of limited face-to-face classes despite President Duterte's disapproval. Let's now hear from the lower chamber. Joining us is Congressman Romulo. He is the chairperson of the House Committee on Basic Education and Culture. Good afternoon, Congressman. Could you tell us your position on this?
Yes, good afternoon, Charles. Good afternoon po sa lahat ng nanunod. My position on this subject matter is simple, and I've espoused this way before. DepEd should take two approaches. For NCR and urban cities, we cannot have any pilot face-to-face until a vaccine is there. For rural areas or provinces that have zero or minimal COVID cases, in those cases, pwede naman siguro mag-pilot ng pilot face-to-face classes, provided that the coordination with the local government unit and of course the Department of Health will be adhered to. We want to ensure, at least in those places, na medyo talagang masundan ng mabuti yung ating minimum health protocols. But again, Charles, for NCR and urban cities, wherein napaka-congested po ng ating mga lugar at yung mga DepEd schools po natin ay situated mismo dun sa mga communities na kung saan dense yung population, I think it is best to wait for a vaccine before we even pilot any face-to-face.
Right. Obviously, the most significant factor to consider would be the availability of a vaccine. But then, when you're considering resuming in-person classes in low-risk areas, what in particular are you watching out for? And moreover, if this is your position, Congressman Romulo, what is preventing? What is the difference in policy opinion, at the very least? Why isn't the president on board with this?
Well, Charles, again, in another interview, I mentioned that maybe it's the way it's being communicated to the president. Again po, because no one is talking about two approaches, and that is what I am asking the DepEd to propose. Two approaches, really for NCR, urban cities, let's wait for a vaccine. But for rural areas, wherein we will have a proper coordination with the LGU concerned and the Department of Health to ensure minimum observance of minimum health protocols, then in those cases, we can DepEd should present a clear plan to the president. Example, Batanes province. It's an island province, and we know that this almost 1 year, they've had a few cases. Minsan meron bilang after a quarantine period, mawawala naman. So in these particular places like Batanes, maaari naman siguro na siguraduhin lang na yung protocols, una-una yung LGU sa mga seaport nila, siguraduhin lang na yung mga papasok maobserbahan yung tamang protocols, yung health protocols. And yung pagdating naman sa school, yung paghatid ng magulang at pag-uwi, dapat kasi yung minimum health protocols hindi lang dapat observe inside the school, dapat sa labas rin. Alam natin pag DepEd schools, if you observe dito sa Metro Manila even before, maraming magulang hinahatid actually nila yung anak nila at sinusundo. So I would assume sa provinces ganun rin ang nangyayari. That's why kailangan kahit sa labas, with the help of the LGU concerned and the barangay, kailangan maayos rin yung minimum health protocols. Pero I think yun yung that may be the crux of the problem. Maybe it's a question of communication, as telling IATF and the president that there should be two approaches. Hindi naman ito one size fits all. Hindi naman natin sinasabi na sa buong Pilipinas mag-pilot tayo o yung sinasabi nilang 1,000 plus schools. Again, you have to identify clearly saan ba itong mga to. Is it in an urban center, NCR, or is it in a rural area? I think masyadong vague. Pero if there's clarity in what they are communicating, probably it would be something that can be considered.
Right. Well, we are expecting vaccines to arrive over the weekend at the very least, no? But then this is just one of those things, one of these ideas that we're considering. Let's talk about what other countries, other COVID-hit countries have been doing. They've started going back to school. What are some of the things that we can learn from these other jurisdictions as applied to the Philippine setting?
Yes, Charles. In fact, I attended a roundtable discussion wherein they were citing cases in Europe. My point is this. Maybe hindi tayo, it's not an apples to apples comparison. Again, they should be very clear what European cities they are talking about. Because when we read about England, when we read about Germany, when we read about France, we know that it's quite difficult in those places. So we want to know, when they cite these studies, what European countries are they talking about? Secondly, is it comparable to the situation or context in the Philippines, especially in NCR, in urban centers, wherein, as I mentioned earlier, most of our DepEd schools are situated or located exactly in the middle of this very densely populated communities. Is it the same in these countries that they are citing? Because baka hindi ganun eh, Charles eh. So my point is, and I've emphasized this with DepEd, now it is the right time for them to create to invite a pool of medical and science experts to give them proper advice on how to conduct, on how to probably pilot face to face. But again, it must be localized. Hindi po pwede na magre-rely tayo sa mga foreign agencies talking about other jurisdictions when the context, the situation, the physical situation may be far different from Metro Manila. And the concern here is not only the community itself, but again, we do not want our hospitals, our medical frontliners being overwhelmed. We have to take care also of our medical frontliners here. So we have to be sure of what we're doing. We have to be dictated. We have to abide by science and medical experts here, not by studies in another country that may not be applicable in fact in our jurisdiction.
All right, thank you for your time and for those insights. That was Congressman Romulo, Chairperson of the House Committee on Basic Education and Culture.